Have you ever wondered what that half-moon shape that some people have on their thumbnail and others don't really mean? What if I told you that this little detail hides a deep and surprising spiritual meaning? Watch the whole video to find out, and stay until the end because what we reveal to you could radically change the way you see life. Subscribe to the channel, The Smiling Buddha, to receive other precious teachings on Buddhist philosophy and personal growth. In a Zen monastery, located among the majestic mountains, a group of pilgrims had gathered to listen to the teachings of the wise monk Ryuzo. As the sun set, painting the sky orange and pink, the venerable monk approached the group, leaning on his wooden staff. "Welcome, dear pilgrims," Ryuzo began in a warm, reassuring voice. "I am honored to share this moment of spiritual reflection with you." Among the pilgrims were Takumi, a young merchant tormented by uncertainty about his future, and Akiko, a woman trying to heal her broken heart after the loss of her husband. Finally, there was Daichi, an elderly samurai searching for a deeper meaning in his existence. "Master Ryuzo," Takumi began in a trembling voice, "we have heard of the meaning of the crescent moon on the thumbnail. Could you enlighten us on this mystery?" Ryuzo smiled gently, his eyes shining with age-old wisdom. "The crescent moon on the thumbnail," he explained, "is a rare and precious mark. Only 1 in 100 people possess it." A murmur of amazement spread among the pilgrims. It indicates a predisposition for enlightenment and a special connection to the universe. "Why is it so rare?" Akiko asked in a faint voice. "This mark," Ryuzo replied, "indicates extraordinary spiritual potential. Whoever possesses it is destined for a unique path to leave a significant mark on the world." "And what does it mean to be predisposed to enlightenment?" asked Daichi. "Enlightenment," Ryuzo began, "is not a goal to be achieved but a continuous journey of growth and awareness. It is the discovery of our true nature and the inner peace that resides within each of us. Those who possess the half-moon have a particular sensitivity to the subtle energies of the universe." Takumi, who had always had a strong intuition, felt a shiver run down his spine. "How can we cultivate this sensitivity, Master?" he asked, eager to know the secret. "Meditation," Ryuzo replied, "is the key that opens the doors of perception. Through the constant practice of meditation, we can calm the mind, free ourselves from superfluous thoughts, and listen to the inner voice that guides us toward the truth." Before continuing, we want to know if you already practice meditation in your life. Write in the comments below the video yes or no, and if you want, also add for how long a day. Ryuzo told the story of a young monk named Jiro, who lived in a small hut on the edge of a village. One day, a group of thieves entered his hut and stole everything he owned. When Jiro returned and discovered the theft, he didn't get angry or complain. Instead, he left a note for the thieves, even offering his blanket to keep warm. The thieves, moved by his generosity, returned everything and became his disciples, learning from him the path of kindness and compassion. This story, Ryuzo explained, teaches us that true wealth lies in inner peace and the ability to forgive. Those who have the crescent moon on their thumb are called to cultivate these qualities and share them with the world. Akiko, whose tears had rolled down her cheeks, asked, "How can we overcome the pain and find inner peace?" Ryuzo gently took her hand. "Pain is a part of life, dear Akiko. We cannot avoid it, but we can learn to welcome it with compassion and transform it into strength. Meditation helps us to observe pain without being overwhelmed by it, to let it flow through us like a river flowing to the sea." Ryuzo told the story of a young woman named Ayumi, who had lost her only son. In despair, she went to a sage for help. The sage told her to bring a handful of mustard seeds from a house where no one had ever died. Ayumi knocked on many doors, but in every house she found someone who had lost a loved one. Eventually she understood that death is a part of life, and that grief is a universal experience. This story, Ryuzo continued, teaches us that we are not alone in our suffering. By sharing our pain with others, we can find comfort and healing. Pain can become a bridge that unites us to others, an opportunity to cultivate compassion and empathy. Daichi, touched by Ryuzo's words, asked, "How can we find deeper meaning in our lives now that our mission is accomplished?" "Our true mission," Ryuzo replied, "never ends. As long as we are alive, we have the opportunity to serve others, to share our wisdom, and to contribute to the well-being of the world." Ryuzo told the story of an old samurai named Kenzo, who had dedicated his life to the art of the sword. One day, while traveling, he was challenged by an arrogant young samurai. Kenzo, instead of fighting, calmly sat down under a tree and offered the young man a cup of tea. The young man, confused and disarmed by Kenzo's kindness, gave up the challenge and became his disciple. This story, Ryuzo explained, teaches us that true strength lies not in violence, but in kindness and compassion. Those who have the crescent moon on their thumb are called to use their power to promote peace and harmony in the world. As the sun set and the moon illuminated the Zen garden, the pilgrims, inspired by Ryuzo's teachings, felt full of hope and determination. They knew that their journey had just begun, and that the crescent moon on their thumbnail would guide them to a bright future. "Dear pilgrims," Ryuzo said, slowly rising, "the crescent moon on your thumbnail is more than just a sign. It is a symbol of hope, a beacon of light in an often dark and confusing world. Those with this sign are called to be guardians of light, to spread compassion and wisdom wherever they go. You are called to be leaders, not in the traditional sense, but to lead by example, to inspire others with your kindness, integrity, and inner strength. The world needs you. It needs your light, your compassion, and your wisdom. Don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid to be different. Your destiny is extraordinary, and the half moon on your thumbnail is the seal of this destiny." And now here's the final secret. But first, give this video a nice like, subscribe to our channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss our next contents dedicated to Buddhist philosophy and personal growth. The crescent moon on the thumb not only indicates a spiritual predisposition, but is also a sign of divine protection. Those who possess it are said to be protected by higher forces, guided and guarded at every moment of their lives. This special connection with the universe means that you are never alone, and your path is always illuminated by an extraordinary light.